Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna get started here in a minute.
You know Clarence slow.
Don't leave us, bear with us.
Yeah, hold on. You know Clarence slow, you just gotta be washed up.
With us. We coming in. We got a lot we want to talk about today. It's gonna be good information. So if you want to get your notepad or you want to take some notes or some things you want to share,
ask some questions.
Have some questions. We definitely want to hear from you. So Coach is over here being the cameraman slash he coaching us through it. Coach, he's a slash cardio kickboxing.
Now is this live? What is this? Is video?
Hit the button.
This one?
No, the round one. It should be live. It should go that way.
This is, you recording it live?
Yeah, that's fine. Only what she said, my camera is coming in sideways. Oh no. Okay. Thank you, Heidi. Sorry. Nope, not that one either.
Maybe you can't get on that big iPad, huh?
Yeah. She said it's coming in sideways.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
Heidi, if you are watching still, will you please let me know if this is better?
Here we go. That might not work with that.
Is that better?
For this.
I think we got it now.
All right.
Come on.
Let me get my water. You see the network connection is low for some reason. I don't know why. But man, your brother had me cracking up last night. Oh my God. All right.
You are? Yeah. I'm from here. I'm not. Okay. Where you from? New York. Okay. So you've been for a long time. Yeah.
All right. It's me, your boy Coach C, with the SFPT Healthy Living Today segment, right?
Right.
I got two speakers here for you. So we've been talking about the no sugar, no carb challenge, no bread, no sweets, no soda,
no cookies,
no hey, all that stuff you want to eat over the New Year's holiday. Stop doing it. 14 days, started on Wednesday. Where you at? Are you still on the plan? Did you fall off already? Are you still going? You ain't checked in. So what you been doing? Right. So I got Chante here and I got Chante here. Chante will talk about some diabetes. You know, Chante is a health coach. Right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, health coach.
Health coach. And matter of fact, how about they introduce themselves to you? Chante, you first.
Okay. Well, great morning. My name is Chante Samara, and I am the owner of Creative Soul. And listen, guess what? I am currently 44 years of age. I was pre-diabetic in my 30s. So I've actually been diabetic now from pre-diabetic almost 15 years. Literally what happened was when I moved out here, because I'm originally from New York, so I moved to the Midwest. So no running up and down the stairs on the train, none of that. Immediately that first month I picked on 15 pounds just for lack of movement.
Right.
Nothing changed, no diet, nothing. And so long story short, I went to the doctor in 2011 and my A1C, which is your 3-month number when they check for diabetes, was literally at an 11. So whenever your A1C is double digits, it's automatic, you're supposed to go on insulin. That's an actual, and I know this because I have 2 brothers that are in the medical field. That's an actual law. And the doctor looked at me and he was like, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll give you 30 days. If you could just lose 10 pounds, it can change the number. Mm-hmm. For me personally, being diabetic scared me. I don't want to take a shot every day. It reminds me too much of the drug addicts in my family, and yes, I'm honest. I couldn't see doing it, so I lost some money. I took my rent money, paid for a trainer, got some things together, and that's when, during that time, as I was maintaining, that's how I met Coach. And so, I'm really excited. Then I saw something on Eventbrite. I tell everybody, go on Eventbrite. You never know what you'll find. And Oasis, which is a company here, were literally paying us to become diabetes self-management coaches.
Wow.
Yes. So I went through that. I was able to receive a training manual, but I'm going to be honest. I just did it for me. I didn't do it for anything else. I wanted to learn, and it taught me how to understand my sugars, how to read labels, how there's so many different names for sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just so much. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited because I got a little lazy, got a little comfortable, and I had another health scare at the end of this past year, 2019, that really, really threw me. It's still emotional because it's still fresh.
Okay.
It really threw me.
You want to discuss it?
Not quite.
Okay.
But it's gonna be in my book. That's why.
You put it out on paper.
Right, I'm putting it on paper.
That's good.
But what it did was when I saw your post for no sugar, because when you think about sugar leads to inflammation. Right. And all disease in the body, as you know, is caused from inflammation. And so I stole this picture and I was like, I'm gonna do it with you. And so here I am. Getting back on track.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations.
Yes, and I love what you said, getting back on track. I mean, the reality is everybody, this is the time of year where everybody likes to get back on track. Mm-hmm. So I don't want anyone who's listening in who may feel like, oh, they're already started. It's not too late to jump in.
Right.
It's not too late to jump in. I'm Chante Isaacs. Those of you who are, some of you familiar with me, some not. I am a health coach and a life coach, and I'm also the owner of Changing Image 2020. And so what I do is I help healthy professionals to reclaim their time and energy so that they can show up as the best version of themselves as a whole. Because what's happening is a lot of times we've had success in so many areas, and we're firing on all these cylinders, but we have not created healthy boundaries with food. Create healthy boundaries with people, healthy boundaries with what it is that we are trying to accomplish within ourselves. We kind of lost our way, and so my goal is to help people see themselves as, and I say all the time, I want you to see yourself the way God sees you. I want you to view yourself through God's eyes, and some of this stuff will begin to, you'll start to backtrack and maybe even make some of these healthy changes when you truly understand that it is for His will that you live in abundance. It is His will that you live in health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Okay? So in a nutshell, that's what I do. And I'm so excited, and thank you, Coach C, for allowing me. Thank you, Shonda. I'm excited to be working with you today. First time we've ever met, so I'm really excited about the opportunity to be in this platform and answer questions and talk about what it is that we're doing. I know right now we have been moving into the no sugar zone.
Right.
The no sugar zone.
You know, I love sugar.
Yes, we all do.
I'm a cheesecake fanatic.
Man, listen, that's his thing.
For real, that's
he
me.
just had a birthday in December, and I'm sure he got a cheesecake.
I got about 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
I'm laughing because I got cream
I'm
cheese in my fridge because I was going to make one until you
See?
saw your post.
See? So it's hard for us too, you know what I'm saying? But that's why we do the challenge.
Right.
And we do it for 14 days. You know, no 60 days, 30 days, too hard.
Right.
You should be able to do it 14 days and get through it.
Right.
You know, because they 21 days make it happen. So at 14, you're struggling.
Right.
You'll get your break, take some sugar, then we go back to it again.
Right.
That's how we go do this program. Okay? I'm not going to stress you out like I do my diet, my contest, and do no sugar from day one for 4 months. Do you like that because you go fall the wagon.
And here's what you got to understand about that. 14 days is awesome because what it does, like you said, it kind of gives you a little break in there, but then we're going to go right back into it. You have to understand that when you have, and most of us who have, and I say us because just because we have been certified don't mean we don't struggle.
Man, come on.
So most of us who have these things that need to change, you got to understand how you change things is you bite that thing a little bit at a time. You got to get a little bit of it at a time. And if you try to change everything at once, which a lot of people are doing right now in the first of the year, oh, I got to get to the gym. I got to stop all the sugar. I got to stop drinking. I got to stop smoking. And then that's why you see this big influx in January. By March, they're gone. You can't change everything at once.
Right.
One thing at a time.
And Chantel really brought up a really good point. One of the reasons that I learned is how do you eat an elephant? Go one bite at a time.
Right. I like that.
And so the biggest thing, the reason why I'm starting with diet is because it's easy to go to the gym. I find that easy. Give me a good friend to hold me accountable. Yep. Girl, that's what we do with every Thursday night. Yeah, we getting it in. However, it's literally what you put in your mouth that determines the outcome.
When you're not here.
And one of the things that Coach had said on, there's a video, and I'm going to actually repost it on my page that Chantel did. And Coach had said he eats I wrote it down, he eats for energy.
Not for taste.
Not for taste.
Energy.
And you know, people always like, oh, well, girl, I gotta have my Pepsi, and I gotta have my taste. And eating healthy, the food doesn't taste good. But when we begin to understand the way the Lord created our bodies is that energy is supposed to be provided through our nutrition.
Right.
And so one of the things that winds up happening is sugar is false energy.
Right.
Right.
And that's one of the things which makes this really important. And like Coach said, take the picture, print it out, put it on. I printed one out. I got to put it on my steering wheel now. So when I'm in the street, I'm paying for it.
So for me, that printout we did, well, you know me. You know, I eat only, like you said, only for energy. And the only thing that was hard for me was the sugar in my cheesecakes, in my sweets. I don't drink pop. I don't do fast food. Yeah. I don't what was on there. I don't do coffee. I don't do donut. I hate donuts. You know what I'm saying? Don't do cookies. You know, I can stop all that stuff. The main thing was the sweet part. So the other ones was just checked off before I even looked at it. And it's the nightly of the sweets. The hardest part for me. But I'm human. And like she said, for me, I'm doing my 6 meals a day, every 3 hours, clockwork. I just ate at 9, but eating at 12, ate at 6 this morning. I do it again. But that's how I offset my diabetes by what I can get. You know, so in the meal plans I put you on, most of them are a diabetic meal plan.
Right.
Eat every diabetic, what they say, eat every 3 hours.
Every 3
right?
hours.
It's for everybody. It's the way to go. You can try these intermittent fasting, all this other keto diets, and all whatever you want to do. But the safest one you use when you go to the doctor, when that don't work and you get diabetes, they go say, eat every 3 hours.
Right. And one of the things that Coach brings up is the fact of the importance of understanding. What we're doing is we're teaching healthy living.
Right.
That's what we want you to do. We're teaching how to eat whole foods.
Right.
We're equipping you with the knowledge to carry on. So when we're not around, you know what to do. It's not, oh, I don't have money to buy the expensive shake from my friend who was selling it, so I don't know what to do. And so we really want to equip you with the tools necessary, and that's one of the reasons why I've never had to go on insulin. Because even when I get a little off, because I've been educated, I know what I need to do, and I'll be like, look, I'll shut it down.
Let's talk about the education piece. So let's switch gears because we can talk about. I think people kind of got an understanding of what to do. They don't know the how to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about, we were talking about before we just went live. We were talking about labels. Let's go there. Let's talk about labels. Labels in the grocery store, guys. And maybe I'll post something on my page this week about sugar and the names of sugar.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are like, I've been doing so much better. I've been drinking this and I've been eating that. And it doesn't have this much sugar. But then you read the label and just let me give you one big nugget right here. You ready? It is this. If the first 3 ingredients, one of them says sugar, then you are eating a snack. You are not eating a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It looks like the first 3 ingredients are what that is. Everything else are fillers.
Mm-hmm.
But the first 3 ingredients are whatever that is. So when we are looking at labels, yes, the nutritional facts, the part with the percentages is important. But what's more important is at the bottom where it says ingredients. Exactly. So like Coach C just bought in here, this is a quick 1 minute whole grain oats, all right? At the bottom of it, it says ingredients, whole grain rolled.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah. Clean.
This is clean. There ain't nothing else in here but
That's why
what
it's
it
a
says
meal plan.
is in here, okay? Now,
And Chantel, wouldn't you honestly say, Chante, I keep saying Chantel, wouldn't you honestly say, I go by if it's 5 ingredients and less, and all whole ingredients, like
Okay.
you said.
I
So
usually
that's
go-
a rule.
So for me, it's a 3, but
Ooh, 3.
Yeah.
I gotta come up.
yeah, it's the first 3. I'm looking at the first 3, and it's
Yeah.
and you're right. It is like God. But the first 3 are telling us what it is.
Yeah.
So if it says peanuts, like for instance, this is Jiffy. I don't know what's in it. I'm gonna look at it here in a second. But if it says peanuts, peanut oil, sugar, guess what this is? It's mostly sugar. Yeah.
That's all it is.
This one says made from roasted peanuts and sugar. I did not make this up, y'all. And Jiffy, don't sue me
That's why I
for
grabbed
telling the
2 of
truth
them.
about your product.
Mm-hmm.
But it says made from roasted peanuts and sugar.
Now she's not saying that it's bad. Okay, so now let's bring it down to on the other side. So you're looking at this product, and you see it says sugar, right? Now, the key is how much are you going to eat?
Yeah, the portion.
The serving size.
Yeah.
So the serving size is 2 tablespoons. That means for every 2 tablespoons, there is 3 grams of sugar, which really for you is not that bad. However, if you sit here just eating this out of the all day long, that was bad for you when you went above your sugar content, like you said you used to do, because it tastes good.
Yeah.
So you're thinking it's low calories, the sugar is low, it's only 3 grams. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon, which really you grab 1 tablespoon, you grab 2 tablespoons, we thought it was 1. You eating it, and then
That's
it's good. Then you get some more.
Now you're in trouble.
Now you have 5 tablespoons
Which was,
within 10 minutes.
Yep. Now you got 12
And you're
grams
still
of sugar.
hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it ain't 20 minutes yet, your brain ain't come to your stomach yet. So now you do it again, now you did 10 more. Now you at damn near 30 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
See
And
how
so,
it happens just that quick? So you gotta have control. If it says a certain size only 2 tablespoons, guess what? Do 2 tablespoons and that's it.
And it's
move
okay.
on.
And listen. I know this is where we are lazy people, and I'm just gonna come for you on it. We have got to stop being lazy about measuring our food.
Hey, you gotta measure.
A lot of people don't want to measure. That's just too much work. Well, you know what? Is it going to be too much work to fill up that measurement of the vial that's going to, when you have that sugar diabetes? Is that going to be too much work? When is it too much? When is it going to stop being too much work to give yourself to yourself?
Right.
When is that going to stop
You a
being
whole lot
too
of
much
work to put a wheelchair in that car by yourself.
Yeah, that's a lot of work
Or that
too.
crank, or that cane.
and it's a
Come on,
lot of
now.
work. I've been sick. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have somebody push me around in a wheelchair. Like,
you're burdening somebody.
it hurts.
Yeah.
And I was upset with myself because I'm laying in bed realizing where all this came from,
Right.
regardless.
And now we gotta say don't have any sugar.
No,
Well, I challenge we are, but on everyday life, you need some sugar to punch holes in the fat. It's how much.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
And
Or
sugar
where
is in
you getting the
everything.
sugar
Where
from?
you
Where you
sugar
get it
from.
from? Yeah.
You know, like
You know what
one
I'm
of the things the nutritionist taught me when I first wanted to learn was, she was like, well, you have to stay away from bananas because they're high on the glycemic index. Which,
I say the same thing.
yes, they are. But if you're working out like Clarence, if you're one of those that's keeping the activity and you're not eating other things, then yes, you can eat a banana because you'll need it. You'll need that energy, that quick energy that it'll give you.
The potassium in the carbs.
Yeah.
Potassium, yeah.
So most of my diets, some of my ladies, I don't put bananas on there because I'm giving you carbs from somewhere else, even from different source. So I'm with that quick energy.
And the
so
same thing with
I
the
change it
carbs.
up.
Carbs are sugar, people.
It breaks down.
Carbs are sugar. So what kind of sugar do we want to be getting? We want to be getting complex carbs.
Complex carbs.
We do not just want carb. Chips are not complex carbs.
So can you break down the difference between complex carbs,
Right.
simple carbs? Do you understand the difference? Can you break that down? Or do I need to?
You do it. You do
Okay,
it.
so a complex carb is the carbs that give you energy, like rice, whole grains,
Right.
potatoes, stuff like that. The simple carbs are carbs like sugar carbs, like your fruits, stuff like that. Then you got your fibrous carbs.
And they burn fast.
They burn fat. You got your fibrous carbs. You got your veggies.
Yeah.
You know.
Y'all see I'm taking
So
notes too?
if I ever broke you down to you and said, what was your net carbs? Then we have to subtract your fibrous and your simple carbs from your complex carbs.
Yeah.
Most of y'all don't go that deep. Most of y'all be just like, what? You know, and go there with you. Plus, I talk fast. So I'll put most of your papers complex. If you read your meal plan, it says complex and simple.
Yeah.
Then you'll see fibrous, and that's it,
Yeah.
right? And you see fats. But I don't break down to the net carb you should be taking in because you're like, well, what do you mean by net carb? What's the math equation at? You know, that's what I did for myself. All right. So when you want an energy source, that's your complex carbs.
And that's where, I followed the ketogenic diet for a little while, and that's where I was coming up short, was the complex carbs. But because keto tells you get rid of all carbs, right? Well, that was a problem because now I'm not getting the complex carbs. I'm not getting the carbs. Even in some vegetables, like, oh, I can't eat them because I don't have enough. Ew. Yeah, it works temporarily.
Right.
You have got to have those carbs. The body is fueled by that. Now, when you're running a keto diet, it is running off of fat. But the minute you start taking that carbs back in, any type of carb, whether it be complex, simple, or just, you're going to start to gain the weight back.
I mean, look at me when I do a contest. Y'all saw me. On Saturday, I'm lean, 206. I eat 2-3 hamburgers at nighttime. The next day, I'm up 220 in a day. From my water, my carbs back in my system, I blew back up. So it's going to happen. So if you take everything out,
You gotta put it back in.
then you put it back in too fast,
Yeah.
you can blow up. So when you fasting, when you doing this no sugar diet we're doing right now, when you go back to eating regular, it has to be a slow, gradual takeoff, like an airplane. Airplane don't go up like a rocket.
And that's good
It
because,
goes gradual.
and while you're taking stuff out, figure out what you're sensitive to.
Exactly.
That might be a good opportunity for you to start to gauge, whoa, I took out coffee. For me, remember I just came off of a 21-day detox challenge in a closed group on Facebook, and we were getting really curious about what we eat, what it does to our own, because everybody's body reacts different to different things.
Exactly.
For me, I was getting way too much caffeine. So I cut out the caffeine, and the first day I was nervous and jittery. By the second day I had a headache, and the third day I think I was just evil. But by the fourth day I was starting to feel better. My energy was being restored. I was like, okay. Then I went to the gym, had this bomb workout, and I get this huge sweat breakthrough. Well, for me, a sweat breakthrough lets me know a whole lot about what's going on in my body. So understand that while you're removing stuff this week on this 14-day challenge, get curious about what you're feeling in that. And if you haven't started, start today. It's
how's your energy level?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, you want to be real curious and monitoring how you feel. That is your telltale. Those are your ahas about your body. You might be, as we're getting rid of some of these carbs, you might find out that you are, you need to go, I'm thinking of the word where you, well, not hyperglycemic, but it's, you don't want the gluten.
Intolerant.
Right,
it's intolerant, right.
Yeah, you need to let go of some gluten. For my daughter, I think she's having some things with gluten. She started to remove from it. Her skin is getting better.
So when you're gonna know this is to journal it.
Yeah.
Right now, what you eat, the time you eat it, everything, what you had today, what you didn't eat. Because that's what I make my clients do before I even do a meal plan for them. 2 or 3 days to journal on your food.
Yeah.
So I can see how you eat, what's in your system. So I can take some stuff out, or I can make it make sense. You might, right now, what you've been eating, I might get the exact same thing back to you and just put some measurements with it. Mm-hmm. You know, or I might change the thing completely, but like, man, you crazy.
You're not getting enough.
You're not getting enough.
Right.
I mean, you're 250, but you only eating 800 calories a day. You go pass out working out with me. You go pass out working out with me. It's not enough energy. Remember, your body needs energy. All right. So on the flip side, if we cutting these carbs out and everything, if you go cut the carbs out, you got to up your fats, you got to up your proteins, you have energy, you have a calorie intake. It's a lot of stuff to it that I can go on for the next 2 hours about. However, we're gonna move into anxiety.
Yes.
All right. Okay? We got to move on. We got the topic. We got to hit. Back to back. I got these 2 experts here, stuff that I can't really talk about. I can talk all day. So I got a big mouth, right?
Nutrition.
So nutrition, fitness, health.
Y'all.
Hey, we can go for hours like this and just talk. You know, I can. But however, so we're gonna let Chante go on with the anxiety first.
All right. And so for me, I like to talk about anxiety and depression together because I'm really big on mental health. And within our African American community, we really don't value mental health. And you see a lot of people now are talking more and more about it. However, there's still issues with finding a good mental health provider.
Right.
And we all have things that happen in life. One of the things that's amazing is the level of trauma we've been exposed to.
Big time.
And there was a big study which started out trying to find out about obesity and what it did, and it's called an adverse childhood effect study. Most people that's in education that work with children in trauma understand that. And so with the ACE score, basically it's 9 questions, and when you have 4 or more, you're considered severely traumatized. So, and it's things such as simple as having a family member in jail, seeing family members do drugs, you know, I mean, things that, I hate to say this, poverty, and that's a great thing, the cycle of poverty. And so even for myself, when I did it, I only didn't have 1. And I was like, well, no wonder. I got issues going on. All of a sudden, one time, I thought I was having a heart attack, ran to the emergency, and they were like, well, no, you have inflammation in your lungs. You're diagnosed with costochondritis. Okay, so I'm taking that medicine, but I'm still having palpitations. What was that? Anxiety. I was working at a school, working in a location that, you know, the Lord told me to leave. I didn't want to leave. I love the babies.
Disobedience brings
so
anxiety.
what started happening?
Disobedience brings anxiety.
You better say that. Disobedience brings anxiety. Let's touch and agree on that. So what wound up happening was on Sunday nights, I started having really bad anxiety attacks. And it got to the point, another one of my coworkers would always call and check on me on Sunday nights. And so then when you're having anxiety, you're having things that are making you nervous, so it's causing a physical response in your body, and you're not eating properly, and you're supplying your body with more sugar to self-medicate. Wow. So you're self-medicating. Some people do it with food, with drugs, with sex. Most of us do it with food. And if you're part of the black church, you do it with food, because everything in the church is around food. And then before you know it, you're sitting there with the thoughts, and your thoughts are racing, things are happening, woo, 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 and now you're depressed. So now you're having more medication being prescribed, when all in all, the basis, if you would have handled your diet. And I'm talking from experience. Like, I'm full transparent. I know what it's like. I've been on every side of the spectrum. Right. You know, I know what it's like to be good. I know what it's like to be in a mental health hospital. I know what it's like to be in the church. Right. I've been on every side of the spectrum. Right. And trust me when I tell you, when you get your diet and what you put in your mouth better, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work.
The anxiety piece and the depression piece, that's a big deal. And I talked to quite a few people who are overcoming, and shouts out to you guys for doing this hard work in healing. I tell everybody every time, healing is hard work. I don't want you to ever get it confused and think that, oh, well, there's some magic to it. It isn't. Healing is hard work. That means that you're going to have to put in the work in your diet. You got to put in the work in your physical and start moving and working out and things like that. Your spiritual, what are you ingesting in your ear gate, your eye gate, your mouth, who's talking to you, who's in your ear, who are you allowing to speak into your life and share into your life. Sometimes they might just be venting, but it's still your ear gate. So the depression and the anxiety, it may be a job that has robbed you. It's robbed. You think you're getting a paycheck, but they're robbing you of your peace of mind. I want you to get real clear about where depression and anxiety, like she said, sometimes it comes from trauma, that things have happened to us, but I want you to be clear, some of it comes from what we have been doing to ourselves, okay? And the choices we're making. We just touched and agreed, we were talking about being, disobedience brings anxiety. That brings anxiety because you're not walking in purpose. Mm-hmm. Anything that you're disobeying is taking you off the path of purpose, okay? So how do we combat diabetes, depression and anxiety? First, we got to take that hard look in the mirror. Yep. Okay?
And it's sad because when we have trauma, we don't know. Yeah. We don't, I didn't know.
But you know, and I agree with you. Some things I did not know were traumatic, but I knew something wasn't right. Mm-hmm. And that's a good starting place. Right. Sometimes it's as simple as, I don't know why, but I do know it's happening.
Something's going on.
And since it's happening, now let's dig a little deeper. That's a self-eval. Those are self-evaluations. That's that being willing to dig deep. Mm-hmm. Again, it might be, and as you begin to dig and you go deeper, and you find it's related to family, or maybe there's a history of it, or maybe somebody, a big mama had it, and whatever. But it starts with you. Yeah. It starts with you by getting really, 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 really curious about yourself. Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, I've got a belief that I'm first. You know, people say, oh, I put my kids before everything. I put this before everybody. I don't come first. Because I came in this world by myself. Mm-hmm.
And that's a thought pattern that we as a people have to get past. Even in the church, you know, the church is all about serving and da-da-da-da. But if Chaundra don't take care of Chaundra, Chaundra's the one that's broke down. Right. And I've had it happen. Chaundra's the one that's broke down. I can't, all the people that, you know, I gotta go to work because I gotta pay the bills, I gotta take care of my mama, I gotta da-da-da-da-da. Then Chaundra can.
Let's not say some of my assessments. Ladies come here and say, I'm a caregiver, I gotta take care of this person, take care of that person. And I tell them, well, you ain't healthy. You can't. You gotta take care of yourself first. Yeah. You have to be healthy enough to help somebody else.
And that's why the depression comes. That's why the anxiety comes. Because you took care of everybody but you. But yourself. Right. Let's be very clear.
So I tell like this: use this fitness thing as an outlet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As your release, as your time for you, your you time. Mm-hmm. You know, to get away.
And for those people who say, well, I don't enjoy working out, I don't enjoy fitness.
No, but honestly, nobody really does but me. I mean, for real.
I enjoy it.
You work out really because you got to. Because you need to.
Yeah.
But you
That's
get
the bottom
good.
line.
Afterwards, you feel great, but going to it, the mental part of it, going in and saying, "Oh man, I gotta go work out. I gotta see Clarence. He's about to kill me. I ain't eat right this week. I'm cardio. My muscles gonna be sore." It's painful coming in, but once you get going, you be like, "It was all right." Because if you with me, you feel like you achieved something when you finished. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel this beat down. I feel like, babe, I did that workout. I got through it. It was good. It worked. Now you feel better. Now you had a day off. Now you when you come in the next day, like same cycle.
Yeah.
But you gotta get your mind right to get healthy. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know, so you can't come in here of depression.
Yeah.
You gotta use this to battle depression.
And one of the things that you see is that's why group fitness exercises are really popular, because once you have somebody that you feel can support you, whatever it is you're going through, and then you come in, somebody is holding you accountable, and then you have a trainer like Coach that ain't letting you slack, no matter how much you want to be like, look, I'm sorry, my leg hurt. You know, and you're dealing with everything. When I went through my first natural weight loss journey, I used to be on the treadmill in tears because it brought up so much
emotion
that was in me. And it was like, people used to look at me, but why do you eat? You know, you eat because of this, you know, because of that. I've had a lot of trauma growing up, which I particularly purposely tried gaining weight, you know, because of the trauma. I wanted to be fat. I wanted, you know, and it's just crazy how your mindset is. But then you're on the treadmill and it's like it's breaking. So don't be shocked, is even throughout this challenge, that you find yourself like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Because things have to come up. We got to do that self-evaluation. Chante is right on it.
It has to come up to come out. So, and let me say this too, for men who are watching. I know you guys have been taught to not cry. I know you've been taught to not show emotion. But it's 2020, y'all. Right. Somebody lied to you.
I cried in a minute, so
I ain't saying we no punk. But you know, but it is important to allow those emotions, because if they come to you, then they're coming up and they're going to come out.
They come up
once
for a
they
reason.
once they start to come up, then you begin to deal with the trauma. You begin to deal with the rejection. You begin to deal with all the things, and how it opens you up to new ways of and understand it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't come again, and that the triggers won't come again. Sometimes it's a song. It could be a smell, things that trigger your trauma, and then the depression, and it's a cycle. So what we do as health coaches and life coaches and trainers, we teach you how to, when that stuff shows up, how to handle it differently than you would have handled it in the past. Right. Because what you've been doing obviously is not working, right?
Exactly.
It's not working. So we give you those tools. We teach you how to, when this happens, I do this instead of this now. For me, I'm kind of, and I still struggle with this, emotional eating. So if things are going on in my head, I want to snack. I just want to chew on something. At one time I used to smoke, so you know it's that hand-mouth fixation thing going on. So learning and being very in tune with the fact that this is going on, I'm like, ooh, I want to snack, but am I hungry?
And so one of the things that Chante would be really good at assisting people with is identifying their triggers.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, we don't even realize what it is we're doing. Like, I didn't realize, I have a brother I love. I've known him the whole time I've been in Indiana. He called me out about something. He was like, don't you try to get out of this. You do that. Yeah. He said, maybe you don't know that's what you're doing. Yeah. But that is what you're doing. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I felt so just bad, but it was good. And so, you know, always begin to realize that when you're on a live, when you're seeing certain things, whatever you see, God's trying to give you a sign. Some people say the universe, whatever you want to say. But do realize that there are markers there and understanding triggers. And the good thing is, by me coming out of education and working in special ed with children with emotionally disturbed, I've had a lot of professional development. And a lot of times people don't know. And so that's why, for me, it's important to be here and be transparent, because I'm not perfect. I'm still over 200 pounds. I'm not 265 like I was. But, you know, everybody, life happens. Things happen. You get depressed, you emotional, you know, all right, you saved. So you don't drink, you ain't fornicating, you're doing all the stuff the church say you're not supposed to do. So then what can you do? So then you turn to food. That's good.
And I hate it, but that's what's happening in
our churches we haven't done a good job with allowing people to be transparent with their pain. You know, it's important that you, and for those of you who go to church with me, you know, y'all know I will bust out crying in the middle of worship in a minute. I cares none. Because it costs me too much. It costs me something to be free. And sometimes that cost is you looking at me with the pain in my eyes, but what you don't understand is it's freeing me. So I'm okay with the fact that you don't understand what it's costing me. So yeah, I do. I identify very well what triggers people.
Right.
And sometimes we get caught in these cycles of self-abuse and self-hatred. Yeah, we inflict pain on ourselves and don't even realize that we are the culprit. You know, so all of those things, the anxiety. But going back to the anxiety, let's go back to that, because a lot of people think that this is something that they just have to live with.
And it's not something you have to live with. I mean, one of the things that's really crazy is, while you were speaking, I thought of the saying, you know, I cannot control other people, but I can control myself.
Right.
And so what winds up happening a lot of times is when you're getting anxiety, it's literally because you're looking at the outside forces and you're feeling victimized. You're feeling, oh my God, this is making me nervous because of this. You know, the job, I hate going to the job, but I gotta be there. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to be there. And I'll never forget when I was working at a makeup place doing makeup, and one of my former teachers came in and she looked at me. But guess what? When I left work, I was done.
Yeah.
Right.
And the job I was doing was doing makeup, making other women feel beautiful. It was self-rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, and understanding that with anxiety, so the victimization and all of this, you made it really powerful, stems from the cycle of poverty. When you begin to think of everything that we as a people have gone through, when you look at the data and the numbers for what it is we suffer with, and understanding it's not just I want to look good. You know, it's not just, okay, well, I'm feeling anxious because, you know, it's that time of year, like seasonal affective disorder.
Right. That's a
And
big
everybody
deal.
during the holiday.
And it is real.
But it's real. It's real when you lost 3 family members in December, and then the next year you lose 3 more.
Yeah.
You know, and that's me. It's real. It's real when you have to have your father's birthday come and he was a real man, and then 2 days later is your godfather's funeral. You know, and so
how do I handle that?
How do you? And you know, a lot of times we just say deal with it.
No.
I've seen it even in schools where parents, in the high school I was at, and a parent kept pushing this child to stay at this school. It was an option. They didn't have to stay there, but this child was diagnosed with a disorder, and the parent was forcing them. But they don't have to be here. The requirements here is causing them more stress. It's causing them more anxiety. And the sad truth is, a few years later, I lost that student. Was it really that important?
Right.
You know, and now the mother's dealing with other feelings, you know, and so it's like, let's deal with the stuff before it happens. And one of the things is being proactive. But in Western culture, we're reactive. We're very reactive.
Yeah. So, you know, going back to, you don't have to be here. A lot of people feel like, oh, I've got this job and God blessed me with this job. But if your job is killing you, if you're doing something that is not helping you or it's hindering you, it might be time to look at what other talents do I have? What other gifts do I have?
The problem with it is that they come to the money aspect of it all.
Yeah.
They can get money, making this money anywhere else.
But you can really speak on that.
You have to. I have an exception. I mean, I was making good money at the big box gym, you know, and I left for a pay cut, and I left for a 70% pay cut.
70%?
Not 70% pay cut to start my own business, but my drive is not typical like everybody else's. I can't say do what I did, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I can't really say that because you're not
that's
me.
Key.
You know what I'm saying? You know your person. But, however, if you're unhappy in your workforce, and it's bringing you depression and other things, going home, being your wife and everything, whatever's going on, it's happening in the household, you need to look for the job. You need to find happiness, even if it's less pay.
And it is important.
Because just because you make a lot of money don't mean you're happy.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing like peace. I'm going to tell you, it's nothing like having my weekends back and not doing paperwork. It's nothing like it.
And going back to, he said taking less money. So some people are like, oh, I can't do that. I got this, I got that, and the third going on. But the reality is, it's costing you more than you realize.
But you gotta realize though, no matter how much money you make though, you're gonna adjust.
Yeah.
So if you making $100,000 a year, and you have to go to a pay cut of, let's say, half, $50,000 a year, you're going to adjust. You're going to change something. You're not going to just fall off the earth. You're not going to just die. You're going to change some habits.
Right.
You're going to stop going to the movies once a month. You stop going to eat every 2 days.
You might have to sell that. I had to sell. I had to get
You
rid of my house.
You might sell your house.
I had to make adjustments.
You might downgrade your car. You might buy a used car. You might stop shopping so much. But however, if you're going to live, you got to adjust. Because if you make more money, what you can do? You go adjust to make more money. You can buy more things, buy bigger things, buy better things. So it's all in adjustment. And after a while, it's become normal again.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
But it's all. But what are you willing? Again, we talk about these. What are you willing to give?
Right.
To receive the life of peace and health and prosperity, and get rid of the illusion, because a lot of times we're holding on to stuff because there's an illusion attached to it of prosperity. Or an illusion of, well, I don't want people to think that. First of all, that statement in itself is very toxic. I don't want people to think.
I don't care what they think.
That is a very, very toxic statement in itself. The minute you care what somebody, hear me. Ooh, I hear that. When you care too much about what other people think about your journey, you have already lost your war.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Again, you cannot get caught up in what other people think. The minute you do that, the anxiety, the depression, it will always be there, and it will whoop you all over your own house. Okay? Because everybody has an opinion, but you have to be prayerful, or whatever that looks like for you, meditative, whatever that looks like for you, to tap into the greater that is here in this earth. You got to do that. And then do that and follow the path that is laid before you, because again, you are never sitting here to not take care of yourself.
Right.
That's just not real. Especially in America. Other countries, we're probably the sickest country in the universe.
We're actually the only country in the world where you could be obese and be in poverty.
Yeah.
We're the only country in the world where you can literally be in poverty and be considered obese.
Wow.
And so
that's political.
That is really saying something. And I'm just like, you see, I'm taking notes. I'm like, oh, this is good. And one of the things, the importance of having coaches is to help you. But you know what? You join the team. You have to make a conscious decision to say, I want to try this out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I was never a physical person at all, but I like to dance. And I will never forget when my parents couldn't afford for me to go to dance school anymore. But I have amazing pictures and I like to move. So that's why, different types of fitness that comes with music, I love.
Yes,
I'm in. I'm going to move. I may not be able to move like you, but I'm going to move. Right. And sometimes if you don't know your triggers, you don't know. It's lack of knowledge. Reach out. You have 3 people sitting right here that are more than willing to do so. To get you a coach. Stop with all the excuses. If you, I know somebody that we were in a Dave Ramsey class. And during that class, that person literally sold their home, moved them and their 2 kids into a 1-bedroom apartment and got started. And they totally restarted their life.
Yeah.
Totally. Because they knew they needed to make better decisions, and the home they in was too much for them. And the whole thing that every kid needs to have their own room. No.
That's true.
Yeah, I had to do some readjustments in my living this last year. A lot of people didn't even know. They were like, "You moved?" I was like, "Yep, I've been gone. I got rid of my house. I changed what vehicle I was driving. Changed jobs. I mean, and remember all this happened at one time.
Like, wait, what?
All this happened at one time. But I was so determined that my health, the creating the life that I want to live was far more important than having all of these things that made it appear that I was successful. Okay, and I'm still recovering from those transitions. But I'm excited about the work I'm doing. I'm excited that even though I don't see, it's not built. I don't have an empire yet, but it's coming because that's what I have laid the foundation to do. So when she says reach out to us, you know, you have to invest in yourself. Stop thinking that somebody's going to give you something for nothing.
Right.
Just like we had to invest in ourselves, okay? And I know a lot of times people don't want to talk about this piece. Well, that's the first question. Well, how much is it? You know, is it worth helping you get to the next level? That's what you got to ask. Because it's not about the dollar for us as much as it is about helping you get to where you need to be. I can give it to you, but if I give it to you, you won't value it.
That's right. Because there's no sacrifice.
There's no sacrifice.
No value.
And where your money is where your heart is.
Yeah.
Okay?
And how much is it really costing you at the level that you're at right now?
Come on, especially if you're dying.
I mean, literally, at that moment when I got that notice in that July, I didn't have a job. My car note was due. Rent was due. I took my rent money and paid a personal trainer. And was like, if I get evicted, I'm a single person. I could sleep on somebody's couch. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, we're in America. And I really challenge people to get your passport and go to Jamaica, go to Haiti, go to the Dominican Republic, go to Mexico, and see how folks are living other places.
Right.
You can make it. America, as much as they should do, there's some things that still need to be done. There's a lot of provision here. Right. And it's time that we accept where we're at and say, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm unorganized. Like, my house is a hot mess. I go to somebody else's house and it's beautiful. And I go to somebody else's house, I wash their dishes, everything. But you know what? I made a decision. Once I was able to get up after my last medical issue, I don't want to live like that no more. Point blank the end. Point blank the end. And a lot of people didn't even know because they saw me on social media. They, didn't, except for my close circle, because they were the ones that were pushing me in wheelchairs, taking me to the hospital, taking me to go see the specialist, making sure picking up my medication because it was to that point I was bedridden. And we can't stay like this. Because if I continue, and I'm talking about me, if I continue like this, from 30 being pre-diabetic, or 44, I'll be 45, what quality of life am I going to have at 60 or 70?
Right.
You
gotta change your ways.
And guess what? You don't have the money, but you may have something. You have skill. God said He'll bless the work of your hands. So what's in your hand?
Well, also, on the money side, I did a post back August of all the free classes around the city, black owned. You know what I'm saying? It was a class like every day of the week, except for maybe Sunday. No, it was class on Sunday. Every other Sunday. I think Mac did his on every other Sunday. Boot camp on Sunday. It was free. And so really, if you got a transportation, a bike, or a bus ticket, you can go work out every day for free.
Yeah.
There's something's going on.
And I was one of those people. I started looking for free stuff.
You can do it.
And I was there.
But we post that for you to see because really there's no excuse.
And
it's not it's not hard classes.
Yeah.
Every instructor that I know that I posted on that list knows how to modify the movements for you. So if you're overweight, if you're 85, or you're too old, or you think you got bad knees or whatever, these people that's teaching these classes know how to modify the movements to help you get in shape. So there's no excuse. There's none. We put it out there.
And that's what he posted, and they were in the black community. But I was going to a class that was just everybody. It was Anytime Fitness. They had a class. And so more importantly than because sometimes your community is not your tribe always. It is get with like-minded people. People who are desiring to live their best lives, to live in purpose, to live on purpose, and to strive for the highest level of themselves. And sometimes it's us, sometimes it's not, and that's okay. Okay, because I know that what's going on in our country right now is dividing us, and I'm just kind of coming against that too. Because I have had some really breakthroughs and aha moments about that. So everybody that don't look like us ain't against us.
Right.
Okay. So, but get with any facility who, if you can't afford it, get with any facility that may be offering a free exercise class or a free class, and then you invest in. Right now, I can't invest in a trainer. I can't invest in, but I can go to these free classes and I can invest the additional money that I may free up in what types of food I buy.
Okay.
Exactly.
One of the things that I have done recently in my home in the last year, it's been about a year, and I'm still not 100%, is we have moved to organic and whole foods in my house. One of the reasons I'm doing that is because not only are we fighting with the ingredients as far as sugar, there's a lot of chemicals in our food that is causing depression and anxiety as well. Okay, so I really, really want us to start looking at what type of food we're buying. If it's organic and whole food, people say, I can't afford that. I'm barely making ends meet. When you are eating healthier and you're not getting all the chemicals that's being pushed in the body via the fruit that wasn't organically grown and things like that. So understand this: the health industry is getting us in more than one way. They're pushing pills, okay, and then they're turning around and they're pushing it in through the food. So
there's an entire documentary called "Take Your Pills."
Take your pills, yeah.
You know,
so we got to get to a place where, okay, I may not be a Porter trainer yet. I'm gonna take these free classes, but I'm gonna change what I'm putting in my house for my babies, and not just for you. Because I eat this, and this is the kids' food. Me and Clarence did a really good thing not too long ago, and his kids, his house, they eat like he eat. Okay, my children, they eat like I eat. And you don't have children yet, but I'm sure they would eat like she eat. There's two different types of eating in the house.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, my food is so expensive, so I buy this type of food. I buy organic for me, and then I buy the regular stuff for them.
Double pay.
It's double, but not only is it double, you're still killing your babies. Yeah. We want to make sure that what we're doing for ourselves is duplicatable in our communities and in our children.
So probably I met this kid, I forget when it was, but it's like 9-10 years old. She's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you vegetarian?
I have a son that's a pescatarian.
You still got to be a vegetarian already.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I know. My mother raised me like this. That's
but
all
not
I know.
only
I'm
that.
like, what?
Yeah.
That's all you know. So me, I'm not with all this vegetarian, pescatarian. I don't eat like that. I eat meat all day long. Meat.
I'm a con.
For real. So when she said it, I looked at the mom and said, I guess so. She vegetarian. I've been vegetarian. And she said, well, my daughter is because I am. Now, and it made sense. And she's like, why would I give her meat? I don't eat meat.
Right.
So I thought like,
makes sense.
I guess you're right. You know what I'm saying? And in the house, so she grew up vegetarian. That's all she did.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it because now to her, that's a way of life. She doesn't know anything else.
And see, that's the thing. Like,
so it's normal.
And it's normal, and that's the thing I'm trying to teach people to understand, that even if we change, okay, you said I'm a meat eater. Me too. I love meat. But you know what? I've changed the type of meat I buy. I'm not buying just that ground beef or that whatever that is on the shelf anymore. I'm looking to see if it's grass fed, if it's organic, if it's if it's
lean,
the process of it, how it was packaged, all of that. I care. As where before we didn't care, we cared to see how much it was per pound. Because we have that poverty mindset. Poverty mindset says get as much as you can for as little as you can. Okay?
Right. I wanna back you up on that. Now, one of the things, get as much as you can for as little as you can, but yet we've been deceived because we don't even realize a 10 for 10 is costing us money.
Right.
And one of the things that's amazing, when I started journaling what I was eating, and then I'll never forget, it was like a year later when I would want something, I would take that money and put it in a savings account.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't realize how much money I had.
Come on.
Because I was under the poverty mindset. Even though I had the good job with the good pay, I couldn't afford
Yeah.
And when you look at the cost, if you're not buying Starbucks every day, if you're not throwing McDonald's dollar menu at your kids, there's so many ways. If you want to go, I know Devour Indy is getting ready to happen. Everybody want to go to the restaurants and eat. But go to Traders Point Creamery where everything is natural. Yes, I'm going to spend $25 for one of their burgers and enjoy every bit of it. And knowing like you
treat yourself, right?
You're right.
Something healthy.
And because you're eating healthier,
Well, I can't eat like that. And still, that means that there's got to be a mindset change. There has to be a shift in something else, right? Because if I'm gonna spend more money on the food that I'm putting in because it's more healthy, well, where is that money? Where am I gonna come up with that money? Y'all like this outfit? I think I look kind of cute today.
You do with that camouflage,
Let me
girl.
tell
We
y'all.
in the wall.
This is this right here is all Goodwill.
Yes.
Yes, we do Goodwill. Goodwill, and on first Saturday is half off.
Girl.
So I had to change because I don't care about what's on me as much as I care about what's in me.
Right.
Girl, let me write that.
Can we talk
that.
about that?
Right.
That poverty mindset is going to keep you from eating well. That poverty mindset is going to keep you from being able to get that trainer that you need. That poverty mindset is going to stop you from getting that health coach and that life coach. That poverty mindset is going to say, I got to take care of everybody else before I take care of myself. Let that sink in. Okay? So with that, that's a mic drop for me. Let that
It's a wrap, huh? It's a wrap, huh?
You know, and so we came here to talk about sugar. And it's talking about food. But look at all the areas food hits.
Look how it touches everything.
Food touches us in every single area.
Everything we do is around food.
And I know everything. A date,
Meeting,
meeting,
holidays, birthdays, parties,
funeral, there's the repast.
It's all around food. Even when I do an open house, I have food. When I did a photo shoot here,
Yep, we
I had a
have
photo shoot here.
healthy food.
What did I have? It was healthy food. We had a shelf here, a lot of money, but we have food. You know, so
And
that's good food too, Kevin. Well, I must say, Kevin,
Yes.
good job.
And the food is not the problem. Fellowshipping with food is not the problem. It's the type of food that we're eating when we're fellowshipping. It's the type of...
And on the foods, people think if it's healthy, it don't taste good.
That's not true.
That's not true. I season all my meats, season my veggies, my food tastes good. They smell it all the time, say it smell good. What is that? I say the same thing I gave you. Green beans, rice, and turkey, chicken, fish. It's the same thing. I just put some seasoning on it.
Yeah,
Some hot sauce.
yeah, get curious about
That's
organic seasonings and
You know
things
what I'm
like that.
saying?
And it boils down to you can't be lazy about your health. You can't be lazy about where you're going. This is not I mean, I'm sure all of us have heard before that little span of time on that born date and end date is closing in on you, and what you're gonna do with that time is important. So, what kind of lifestyle?
What's your legacy?
We were sitting here to live a life of abundance and health and prosperity, but you are closing in on that time, and you're not living. You're existing because of the choices you're making in your food, your physical, your financial, and you got to find your spiritual. Those 4 pillars, you have to fire on all 4 pillars successfully.
They tap all of them.
And sometimes you need a little help. That's okay.
Of course, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Clarence is my coach. I have coaches. My coaches coach me. I'm sure they're on here right now.
We all got coaches.
And one of them was like, "Hey, turn your camera. Yeah, we need to see."
Right.
Coaches have coaches. Okay?
I got coaches.
Yeah,
Got
Everybody
team
has
coaches.
accountability.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's needed, you know, it's needed. There's nothing wrong with having a coach. You know, even just spiritually, naturally, physically, I have coaches in so many different areas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just really want everyone to leave from here and remember, how do you eat an elephant? But one bite at a time.
I like that.
Yeah.
One bite at a time. So if for you, maybe you just have to start with giving up your pop. And that's what you do. But then take that money from that pop and save it, and at the end of the month, look, see what you have.
Just so you can get curious about how much am I really spending on this type of foolishness.
Yeah, so a lady came in, she used to smoke cigarettes, and she was doing like 2 packs a day or something like that. And she was saying she couldn't afford training. I said, if you quit smoking, you can.
Yeah.
If you cut out 1 pack a day, you can. I said, because cigarettes, what, $8-9 a pack? I don't
Oh my
smoke.
God.
I don't know. You know, but I'm like, if you do $9 a day, I mean, 2 days of smoking a pack of cigarettes, that's a day of training. So you can train at least out of 7 days, at least 3 days a week.
Did she do it?
Yeah, she did it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she had no choice.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But she had to cut out her smoking.
Yeah.
You know, so
And
I
then
mean,
that workout made you not want to smoke it
exactly, because she couldn't breathe, so she had to cut out smoking regardless. But now she also said down her bank account pattern.
Yeah. So you find one of those
You know what
4
I'm saying?
pillars. You find one of those 4 pillars and you attack it, whether it be the health, the financial, the spiritual, or the physical. You find one of those 4 pillars and say, I'm gonna start here, okay? And you attack it from that side, but you don't get lazy.
you start attacking that one thing and drive deep into it, and it touches everything else, and you keep going and you build on that. Okay. So that's what we want to make sure that you are understanding the sugar, if the sugar that you're attacking this week. Don't just stop there. Get curious. Okay, how does the breads and stuff? I don't have them in my system this week. How am I feeling? Okay, getting curious. How do I feel? Don't just stop with the surface.
Right. Keep
drive
going.
in. Keep driving in.
Keep going.
And discover what it is that gets you where you need to be.
All right, Clarence, Cole. Before we go, I gotta do the raffle. So I've been talking about the raffle of winning the month of free training. That's 12 training sessions. That's like a value of like $480. So I got this hat.
That's me.
So if y'all did not come in for an assessment, I think I thought I was probably BSing, right? So if you didn't come in for an assessment this past first 10 days, actually I extended it. You missed out. So you didn't have to buy training. You had to come in for an assessment. They have to put you in a raffle. So if you did buy training, guess what? I mean, you got a month. You got what?
A month off of payments.
Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get it. All right. So who want to pick it out? Should I pick it out? Or y'all want to pick it out? Who want to pick it
No,
out?
you can't pick it.
I can't pick it. If I pick my
How
favorite.
much? One or two?
I'm just doing one.
All right. He's like, I gotta make a living.
I pay these bills here.
Y'all, Lord guide my hand. Here we go.
Let's see who
Somebody
win it.
that needs
I hope
it,
you
deserves it,
watching.
wants it. Yes, and we
Who wins it?
have. Let's see.
See, I didn't pick it out.
If I can get it open. Cicely English, you are a winner.
Cicely English.
Cicely
Who
English,
was
you
that?
are
Wait, this
a
morning?
winner.
Last week.
All right,
That's
you
Robin
win
Klein?
some free training.
She what?
She works with Nikki Black.
She worked with Nikki Blaine. Cicely English.
Cicely, y'all,
Did she sign
somebody
up?
tag Cicely English in this.
Let her know.
If she's not already on
So
here.
but I think a good thing is she didn't sign up, but she wanted training. Guess what? She got it.
Yay!
Happy New Year! Happy New Year. We love you. We out. Hey, inboxes any questions. We'll see you later. It's a wrap.
Peace.
Cicely English, huh?
Yes.
Her doctor's
Winning.
parents.
Okay, that's even better. So when she get done, she got it.